Shark Sports Radio begins right now. A Celtics fan and a Lakers fan on the same frequency? Oh, this should be good.
I think ultimately the Celtics find a way to hang banner 18 in 6.
In a world where sports media, lifestyles, humor, and commentary collide.
First time since signing LeBron, the Lakers have said, we don't give a shit about LeBron. We have to worry about the future.
Let's take a dive into this tank.
Let's move on to some 5 questions. We're going to have fun with this one. So I'm heading on a cruise with my wife. We're leaving out of New Orleans. We're trying out the Norwegian cruise line. We've done Royal Caribbean. We've done Disney. I did Carnival in the past. When you think of a cruise ticket, right? I know you mentioned like you weren't the biggest fan of cruises, but you know, you got the casinos, you got the pools, you got water slides, you know, you got shows, you got like comedy shows, like the whole 9. You know, you can drink on the boat, have fun. What is something that you wish you could add to the boat?
Shark, and I'm going to have to defer to you on this line of questioning because I'm not a cruise guy. So
you're not a cruise guy, but like you know what cruises are.
Right, I do. Now, do cruises tend to have like basketball courts or pickleball court? Like, I think if we add that to the mix, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, so then I don't know what to add.
I got one, and maybe this could help you think about it. A roller coaster. Why not have like a roller coaster all around the cruise, and you could just see every angle of the cruise? Maybe not upside down, depending on.
Yeah, see, that's where you lose me a little bit.
Yeah.
But do they have like water parks? I would assume they have the slides, like a water park.
Yeah, they got the slides, they got the pools, they got the jacuzzis, they have it all. But you know, I think like it's just different, like a different view, different angle. You know, maybe zip lining across the entire cruise.
Okay, all right. Now I'm picking up a little bit on that. I don't hate that.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of heights, but I think it'll be kind of cool to see. But no, it just got me thinking because they keep adding different things, different elements, like you know, MSC and Virgin Cruise Lines. They are explosive now. They have great stuff on there, and it's just, you know, they're bringing the young crowd in, you know, with the old, and it's just really, really cool to see. But I think, and they have casinos too. So like casinos are out because they already have them. So except for Disney doesn't allow casinos.
Well,
so
it's the branding there. Yeah, you don't want to mix that. Yeah, sure.
Right. So yeah, I think adding a roller coaster to the cruise would be a nice touch. I think so.
Okay, so that just gave me a thought because you talked about the different views.
Yeah.
What if there was a helipad and they did like a little like helicopter tour thing, where then you could, you know, you'd be above and you get to see whatever, you know, wherever you're going. I know you and the missus are headed to Aruba, right?
No, we're going to Honduras, Belize, and Cozumel.
That's where it was. I was talking to somebody else and I mentioned Aruba, so that's why I got mixed up.
No, you're good.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, there you go. I don't know if that's a winner, but
It's not a bad one.
It's a different idea. And listen, the helicopter's just going to sit there anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Good for it doesn't like a helicopter tour.
Good for the views. But the only thing is, you gotta wait till you get to the land, because if you're just gonna go in a helicopter, you just, you know.
I guess then you're just seeing water. Yeah,
you're just seeing the water.
All right, we gotta figure out the logistics of it a little bit.
No, hold on. You go on a helicopter when you get there, and that's how they take you to the island.
Oh, to different destinations.
That's great. I love that idea. See, that's why we get the brains working. We get the brainstorming with the teamwork.
A little give and go right there, Shark.
Yes. A little handoff action. All right. So New England is getting more snow this weekend. I'm on my way out. Peace. Enjoy it. But as a kid, Ticket, what was your favorite thing to do on a snow day?
Oh, this is an easy one. my friends and I, like when we were elementary, middle school, we'd meet up and we'd play tackle football in the snow.
That's so much fun. I loved tackle football in the snow. It was
when
like
the snow's just that light, fluffy,
yeah.
and you just bundle up and you get out there and it was a good time. That's what favorite childhood memories are, just like romping in the snow, tackling your buddies, laughing, fumbles left and right.
And you could do a hard hit because you're wearing jackets, you're wearing gloves, you can really get into it. And
it's like the sumo wrestling outfits.
Exactly. But also the impact is the snow. So it doesn't really hurt as much. No, I love that idea. That's something that I definitely took a lot of love in, playing football in the snow. For me, I grew up in a cul-de-sac, and I had a bunch of, younger kids, fortunately, in my neighborhood. And one thing we were really good at, and it was so much fun, is we built forts. We built forts with snow, and it was just like so cool. And then, you break it out into snowball fights and whatever it is, competitions, whatever it can be. That was something that I always look forward to, because like, who could come up with the coolest idea? Who could be, hanging out in the fort all day, when it's, and it gets nice. It gets a little toasty underneath. It's not as cold. So that's something that I definitely enjoyed, especially in the cul-de-sac, being a part of that. So we're on to the third one here. So I was watching TGL on ESPN last night. Justin Rose had an unbelievable albatross. When I talk about like his just mechanics, when he swings that club, man, that is special. And that ball just trickled right in. Okay. So it got me thinking, what can other leagues do? You look at PGA and what they have added with the TGL, right? Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy had a big say, a part of this conversation. When you look at the other teams in the offseason, competition is really getting interesting, right? So, you're seeing it with the NBA Cup, right? Leagues are going to start adding, different things to their toolbox. What would be something that a league that you would want to watch that could add something in the off season to entice people to continue to watch?
That's a good question. So when I think of like summer, and like for us in the Northeast, like, we only get so many really enjoyable months to be outside.
Yeah.
So in the summer, like I like playing, pickup ball, go to the local, courts, and you play pickup hoop. And wouldn't it be fun to see, like, Rucker Park, you get some maybe like 3-on-3 tournaments with NBA guys, or college and NBA, or mix it, like something like to that effect. Little 3-on-3 half-court pickup games, or 1-on-1 tournaments, or some king of the court tournament, or something like that. And you could do it like by region, so you could be like Venice Beach in one location, and like the West Coast bracket, East Coast at Rucker. I don't know. Who wouldn't watch that?
I think a lot of people would. When you look at the big three, like when who is it? Ice Cube. Yeah. So like the big three's not getting the love and support it should, and I think it's more just about like the talent that's on the court. Maybe
they're older, not as athletic. They're guys at the back nine of their career or retired already.
Right. And don't get me wrong, they're nasty. They were nasty in their playing days, but
it's fun. It's fun for basketball junkies like you and me. Like, we don't mind seeing like Greg Oden at fucking 42 try and dunk, or Joe Johnson coming off screen. The ISO Joe hitting threes.
Well, a good example is like NBA Street, right?
Yeah.
Like you and I played NBA Street back in the day. NBA Ballers. I don't know if
NBA
Ballers, Stephon Marbury on the cover. That was just cool. That was like, ideally, that's kind of what you want. I agree with you. I love that idea with Rucker Park. You get all the big courts around the globe and figure it out. Like, that would be perfect, like, project for Michael Jordan and LeBron James, maybe to team up and figure something out with the NBA in order to make that happen. That That's a great idea, man. I love that idea. You could do 1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, 3-on-3s, whatever it is, and just have guys, really go at it and give them something to like as an incentive, right? Like I think when we look at incentivizing, like the All-Star game has added, money to fundraisers, right? In different organizations, NBA Cup, what the entire team gets to split $1 million. Like when you look at that, you can add different elements. For me, something that's really cool that I just thought of, and it makes me think like outdoor. You mentioned it. It gets really tough sometimes in the winter, so we enjoy the sports in the winter. But sometimes we could add on, in the summer too. Either backyard baseball type of setup. So I remember playing like MLB All-Stars. I think it was 99. And you could pick and choose, legends along with current players. So like, you could choose like Barry Bonds with Ken Griffey Jr. and A-Rod and, build a team that way. Right. And like, you would absolutely dominate, but I just think that's pretty cool too, is like, maybe get some old timers with, not go all out with the old timers, like, just maybe trickle them in or make them managers and they get to draft their own team. I think that would be kind of cool to set up. And the other thing I was thinking of was deck hockey, outside deck hockey. Because we always talked about like ice hockey. Why not have, something inline outside, at different parks? Same kind of example as you, but you take the cake on this one, my friend. That was a great idea. I love that idea. Have an all around, basically around the world, like outdoor type of league. Love it. Love it. All right. So for Christmas, my wife surprised me with tickets to the FIFA World Cup. I am fortunate to have her. She's awesome. And we're going to the World Cup in June. It's unbelievable. It surprised the heck out of me. So when you play or you played FIFA on a gaming system, which country are you choosing ticket?
Well, first off, shout out Mr. Shark for the great Christmas gift.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
We're going to see Scotland and Morocco.
So that was my next question. Who are you going to see play?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I'm ecstatic. And it was like a raffle, and then they reached out to you if you want in, and the tickets weren't that expensive. So it was really, really cool just to see we got the opportunity to do so. And like kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity, because the FIFA World Cup doesn't come around. But I'll get off the soapbox.
No, I mean, I was curious. I was going to ask that anyway.
Humble brag.
I usually played with Argentina because of Messi. I was and then with the legends, like with Diego Maradona, Hand of God.
Yeah.
R.I.P. the legend. But I was a big, when I was younger, Italy with Gigi Buffon.
Oh, yeah. Gigi. Great.
So Andre Pirlo and Team Italy. So those were the two like I leaned towards the most, had a lot of fun with. I can't think. I usually was Argentina. I just like the colors too. I was a big, I don't know what that says about the masculinity, but I was a big light blue fan.
No, it's part of it. But my whole thing is like people should play FIFA, because then they get to know the players. They get to see, who's on what team, right? And like visualize it, because like, everybody knows Suarez because of Uruguay. Yeah. And then you got Messi with Argentina. You got Wayne Rooney for England. You got Ronaldo for Portugal, right? Like Thierry Henry with France. But
Neymar, Brazil.
Exactly. And Mbappe for France now. Yeah. So like, and Fernando Torres with Spain. For me, I think it was either Spain or England I would try to be. I enjoyed Fernando Torres. That dude was a beast. And David Villa.
David Villa, Iker Casillas and net. Sergio Ramos, Gerard Piqué.
Yeah. Those guys could get after it, man. And just like playing with that team and just like I said, educating yourself on like the different players that you're going to be seeing, in front of you. And you don't always have to go for like the newest game. You can download like, the 2023 or 2024 and update the rosters. Like that's a cheap way to do it too. But I really, really enjoy like the FIFA World Cup. I grew up playing soccer in high school. But we always had a FIFA tournament. Always had a FIFA tournament growing up. And it was just something that like you just remember. And I'm like, now it's coming full circle. I'm really, really excited to go to this game. But it also like, again, just go out there and play this game and just recognize who's on what team, and you'll fall in love with a lot of different teams as you watch. I mean, Morocco's like arguably one of the best teams, right, out of that pool.
Incredible run last year, or
Right.
last time around, obviously making I believe they were down to the
16, right?
quarter. I thought they made it to the final 8.
Yes, finally. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I cannot wait. But that was something that just came to my eyes today. I was like, oh, why don't we just talk about that? So moving on to the 5th question. So this is kind of like a touchy subject for a lot of people, but we have to kind of dig into it. Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones have been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, leaving Manny Ramirez off the ballot forever. What does the MLB have to do, Ticket, in order to change the voting process? Because the Baseball Writers Association currently, they have the vote, and they just seem to just waste ballots left and right. And so is it time to switch to the fans? Is it time to switch to, organizations and figure out like, different ways to kind of handle this? Because you're relying on a baseball writer. They're credible as can be. I get it. They've been in the game for a long time, but a lot of guys have an agenda. And that's something that always comes up in conversation with the BBWA, every single year as they elect players in. So what does baseball need to do in order to fix things with the voting process?
I mean, I don't want to be old man yelling at cloud, but get rid of the old men that yell at clouds, because that's essentially what this is. They're old writers that are stuck to some construct of that baseball has not been for some time, and they're not with it. They're not together. They hold grudges. The guy that didn't vote for Derek Jeter because he probably snubbed him once in an interview in Baltimore. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? And by the way, you look at like you said, it's kind of an embarrassment. Like, I'm going to name some players that got votes yesterday.
Yep. Go ahead.
Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I'm going to name a few.
Yeah.
And this is not to disparage some of these guys, like fine players, but when you think of Hall of Fame, these guys don't come to mind. Mark Burley, very good player.
Yeah.
Hall of Good, not a Hall of Famer.
Nope.
By the way, he got 85 votes. He got 20%.
85? Holy shit.
Ryan Braun.
No.
Ryan Braun got 15 votes. Edwin Encarnacion, Shin-Soo Choo, Rick Porcello got votes. Alex Gordon got a vote. Nick Markakis got a vote.
What are we doing?
Gio Gonzalez got a vote. Gio Gonzalez? What are we? Whoever voted for that guy should never be allowed to even watch the sport again.
Fired on the spot.
It probably is because Gio Gonzalez was like the only guy who's probably nice to him. Like, oh, Gio Gonzalez was the only guy who ever acknowledged me every time he started. Do a start. Hey, what's up, Fred? And then Fred's like, oh, I love Gio Gonzalez. He's the best.
Yeah.
You vote for him for the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to put him right in the Hall of Fame because he belongs there. He said hi, nice to
Rick
meet
Porcello,
you.
I get it. Rick Porcello has a Cy Young, but he also had a season where his ERA was greater than a touchdown.
Yes. And it's funny because the Red Sox extended him, and then he still had a bad couple of years.
There's only two guys that, I mean, we got the two that you mentioned, obviously, Beltran and Andrew Jones. By the way, both wore Yankee pinstripes at the end of their career. Shout out them.
Yeah.
And congrats to both of them. There's only two guys that, like, I looked at next year's class, and there were some names that people threw in there, like, who is it? Like, Wade Davis is eligible, and Scott Kazmir. Like, why would they even be on the ballot? What are we wasting our time for?
Don't give me that, man. Do not give me that. And I've said it also in previous podcasts in the past, like way back. Just have the steroid era a part of the Hall of Fame. This game would be nothing without the steroid era. So what you do is you make a shrine in the MLB Hall of Fame and you like dedicate that to, you know, all the guys that were part of the steroid era, and you just put it in. You don't give them a baseball Hall of Fame, you know, award, election, none of that. You just stick the steroid era in the Hall of Fame. And that would appease a lot of people because unfortunately, there were reports that, you know, steroids were used or steroids weren't used or people, you know, it was committed. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing when we put guys like Wade Davis and Scott Kazmir on the ballot? Like, are you
Gonzalez
kidding me? That's what we're doing?
Nick Markakis.
I know we're ragging on some old guys. The
no, I don't even want to, like, it's not to shit on. Nick Markakis is a fine ball player.
I'm saying for page turner's sake, everybody just, you know, you can keep coming on. Just understand that this ballot situation has to be changed for the MLB's sake. Like the sanity that goes behind this. Shin-Soo Choo, I mean, like that guy. He had a great career in Cleveland, but not a Hall of Fame type of year.
Edward Encarnacion, 6 votes.
I think this discussion should open up into a bigger argument. What is the expectation in being a Hall of Famer?
I know it's not what Nick Markakis did.
What is the expectation? Well, having one Cy Young award, was that Mark Burley and Rick Porcello? Like, are you gonna let's say what's the guy that for the Detroit Tigers, Armando Galarraga, if he had like that perfect
Armando Galarraga,
yeah, if he had that perfect game, you know, if what's his face Joe Schmo you know, didn't call the guy safe. I mean, what are we focusing on when we decide who's a Hall of Famer? That it just doesn't make sense.
And Shark, to me, it's just like when you think of the name, it should, if it's not a yes immediately, they shouldn't be in.
Clicks right away. Ken Griffey Jr. right away.
Yes. Jeter, right? Mariano, Poppy, Pedro. Like, you don't. By the way, the guys that would qualify for that, Roger Clemens, no doubt.
No doubt.
Barry Bonds, no doubt. A-Rod, who was on there, he only got 40% this past year. Manny Ramirez. I mean, I get like the Manny stuff, A-Rod stuff. Like I get like they tested positive, a bunch of stuff, whatever, you know. But when you think of them, they're all-time greats. A-Rod might be one of the best players to ever play, the most talented players to ever play the sport in the field.
And how about this ticket too? I don't mean to cut you off. How about this? Good. How about this? How about not doing a ballot every fucking year? How about do it every other year?
Yeah.
When you have like top tier elite candidates that you're looking at, like if Clayton Kershaw, you know, decides to retire, which he's going to, if not, he already has. If he gets elected, obviously put him on the ballot. Yes. But like, we're not putting these random ass average Joes on the ballot because, you know, the BBWA, you know, decides not to allow guys that, you know, use steroids. Everybody used the substance back then, man.
There's guys in the hall already that are known steroid users, Shark.
Yes.
Mike Piazza's in, Jeff Bagwell's in. Like, these are known steroid users that are in. So why do we have these lines in the sand for some and not others?
And to say that the late 90s and early 2000s didn't make baseball relevant again is an absolute lie.
Yeah, it's okay to profit off of it, but
yes, exactly. MLB, find a way to switch the voting up. Like I said, do every other year. Put, you know, add guys to the ballot as they go. But don't
we let players vote.
Great idea.
We should have
Great
an
idea.
alumni association for each team, and they each get
Yes.
a couple representatives, and they get to vote. Or
Yeah.
the guys that are already in that are living should get a vote.
Yeah, I mean, you could do what 60. You could do 60 voters, maybe do 2 per organization.
Right.
That makes
Like
sense.
an electoral college, but for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and I mean, like you're gonna have bias and all that shit. Like I understand that, but like I don't know. Something has to change. It has to change.
I think the active living members getting a vote that's not a bad
It's not a bad. That's not a bad idea. It's
idea.
just have they, caught up with the game of baseball. Who knows? You know what I mean? Some guys probably just
I'm
retired.
sure you'll have some friends, but we could do once again percentage of guys that say yes.
Yeah. No,
I'm
like
sure it'll be biased to eras and stuff, though. Maybe that's where
Yeah.
that runs in. But
like a guy like Cal Ripken, Chipper Jones, Ken Griffey Jr. Like you could have these guys decide who gets in. It's a great idea, Ticket. It's a great idea because right now it is unfathomable watching these guys that have no business being on this ballot. I'm sorry, you had a great career, Ryan Braun. You had a great career with the Milwaukee Brewers. You were loyal as can be. But to say that you belong in the Hall of Fame, I mean, what are we doing? Same with the NBA, too. They're freaking letting in guys left and right, too.
Well, at least that one's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So, like, if you did something in college or whatever, like, it could be cumulative to your career.
True.
Just basketball. But, like, I understand your point there. I think there's guys in it, like, once again, not to disparage anyone, but, like, Arvinas Sabonis is a Hall of Famer. Come on.
I'm going to say it, but, like, it's not good. It's not good what the NBA has done for some Hall of Famers. Not all of them. Obviously, all of them will be,
Lenny Wilkins is in 4 times or whatever because he did it at like a coach and a player and a college coach and NBA, whatever. I don't know. I mean, once again, RIP Lenny Wilkins. I know he was a Friar legend, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's just weird too. Like how you get inducted. Not Red Auerbach. Tommy Heinsohn was inducted twice. Yeah.
Yep.
Player and coach.
I think Bill Russell was, but Bill deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, teach the, but
yeah,
it's
I get
a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, again, the point is in all of this is allow guys to be on the ballot who deserve it, who work their freaking asses off in the MLB to get an opportunity to be in the highest of the high in the MLB Hall of Fame. That's where they belong. Not some, I'm going to say it again, Rick Porcello on the ballot. Like,
and he got 2 votes.
And he got 2 votes. And we're going to add Wade Davis next year. Like, what? It's just crazy to me. It is crazy. Ticket. What?
Wade Davis, fine closer for several years. Like, fine closer.
Yeah.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's not a Hall of Famer. And maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to, like, I was thinking about this too as we were talking. Maybe it's time to close some of the Hall of Fame opportunities. Maybe not have so many damn guys in this because then it becomes an open pool, a community pool, and everybody uses it. Like, it's like, what in the world is Shin-Soo Choo doing on the ballot? I love the guy. I was a Cleveland Indians fan back in the day. I love the Red Sox, but I love the Cleveland Indians too. And I love Shin-Soo Choo, but no way. You might as well put Travis Hafner and Grady Sizemore in the MLB Hall of Fame at that point. It is kind of crazy. But the point is, let's filter the junk out. Let's put the guys that deserve it in, because that is like I said, that is the mecca of baseball, is to become a Hall of Famer. If you don't deserve it, well, then what are we doing? Learn from the NFL. The NFL has expectations. They have stakes as high as can be for the players that make it to the Hall of Fame. Let's start focusing on that, because right now the MLB is, again, just a community pool, just wasted away with urine all over the place in that pool. It's just, ugh.
There's a visual.
Yeah, that's a visual to end the pod. Well, I appreciate everyone listening in tonight. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
We have Seahawks and we have the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. And we will discuss next week and the week after, probably the week after, because I'm on the cruise next week. We'll discuss.
Got to enjoy some time in Belize and Honduras.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to rock and roll. But I'm also excited what's ahead. And we got some cool stuff ahead. So I appreciate everyone listening in. Ticket, my friend, will check you out next time.
Yes.